This is the Artist Entrepreneur Podcast. We are your hosts, Amanda Ritchie, Noah Dock, and me, Kerry Wee. We're three artists brought together by the love of circus and dance. Amanda from the world of Cirque du Soleil as an aerial soloist. Noah, our academic, and me from the commercial dance world. This is one of the greatest jobs in the world, but it comes with uncertainty. Each episode contains insight on how to pursue art-based businesses. We'll have a variety of guests and have lively weekly Discord. Tune in every week to hear our perspectives on the minefield that is the artist's way of life. So the big news,
you burned it down,
listeners, is that I pulled a Noah and I burned it all down, meaning I left my job.
Burned it down to the ground.
The biggest reason is because I need more flexibility around my child, and it's not the right fit. It's not the right job for that. It, like many jobs, you have to be there every single day that you're supposed to be there. No wiggle room. And I don't know. I thought because it was a fitness job, it might be a little bit more wiggly. But turns out, it's a big corporation that I'm working for.
Yeah.
It's a big corporation. And so it didn't really offer me that flexibility that I need. So me and my boss talked and we kind of realized it wasn't the right fit for either. And I've decided to stop. I'm now going to be in the exact opposite problem where I have time on my hands, but not necessarily money. But I wanted to tell a story on here, Noah, is that we had a tornado here in San Antonio about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this tornado sat its ass down right at my job. It took like the Marshall's Dress for Less, whatever sign right off the building. And it's like right across the street from where I work. And I'll tell you that tornado hit around 8 a.m., maybe 8:30. And by 9 a.m., people were taking their clients like normal. It doesn't stop. It just keeps churning there. And that churn, I had to get off that train. The train was moving too fast for me, I feel like.
I mean, listen, not for nothing, but like, we have earthquakes in LA all the fucking time. And, when we have an earthquake, the house shakes. You sit there for a second, and you kind of look at each other and you go, well, that happened. You can move on with your life.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that it's just a little bit more dangerous when there's so much debris getting like picked up from one place and getting dropped somewhere else. But I'm not saying that it was exciting for a second. But anyways, I just needed somewhere that had a little bit more flexibility, and that place does not. So,
well, not to sound like your parent, but like, you have a plan?
Do I have a plan?
Yeah.
My plan is to start door dashing in about a week and a half, honestly.
Door
for the short term.
What does that mean? Like driving food around?
Yeah, I think so. In about a week and a half, because my kid starts school on August 11th, and I need a little bit of a situation where I can decide every day if I want to do it. My mental health has not increased that well. August 11th, she starts school.
When did she finish school?
May the 31st.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fast. It's fast. But so next week, I'm not going to do camp because we have to spend money on camp and I don't have the job anymore. So we're going to take a week. And then when she starts school, I'm going to just start door dashing for the short term while I try to figure out what I'm going to do next. Because I still have the aerium job. I'm still teaching aerial, obviously, but it just leaves me underemployed, obviously. So this is my like very short term answer to my problem. Honestly, I wasn't making that much money at that job anyway, because I was in that place where I was still building my clientele. Summer is super slow, and I had a bunch of clients like disappear on me for one reason or another, and I was having to build it back up. And I thought it was a good chance to kind of get out of the job once I was, because I was going to have to kind of start from scratch again and then really put pedal to the metal on that job. And you don't get paid when you're in that space because you're taking all these, they call it intros. And all those intros we're not getting paid for, but there are opportunity to get in front of a client and get them to sign on and sell. It's a sales position. So I wasn't making that much money anyway. So like when it comes to like making that money up, I can do it door dashing. Mind you, listeners, I've never done DoorDash, nor have I ever thought of door dashing until now.
I think you're gonna hate it. I think it's gonna last a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm gonna hate it? Because it's just like, what's the word? It's just repetitive.
It's monotonous. I just think you're gonna hate it.
I mean, it takes no intellect, all this stuff. Yeah.
It also like you're gonna feel like you're wasting your time.
Not if I'm making like money that I can count on my fingers. You know what I'm saying? In a short term.
Yeah, but I don't. I listen. I don't know how San Antonio is, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Have you ever done this?
Not to be a negative Nancy here, but not to.
Well, have you ever
insult any other Nancy?
Done any like Ubering or door dashing in the times when you're really like starving for money?
Yeah, I've done like Postmates.
Yeah.
And then I have friends who did like Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And Postmates I made a little bit, but not nearly enough. And Uber Eats, all my friends who've ever done Uber Eats, as they've all said, they didn't really make anything. But if you can Uber, the thing is, driving around food doesn't make a lot of money, but driving around people will. So if you can, if you can drive people around, if you can like do Uber, or Lyft or whatever, then you can make a little bit.
I kind of don't. I looked up the averages. It looks like about $20 an hour, and then obviously I would be, well, when I start to feel better inside of my body, also like hit it hard with all of my other contacts and this and that, and try to get privates and stuff, which is going to be better. But I just can't guarantee that stuff's going to come in quickly because I've been focusing all of my attention on the job that I just left. This job just took all of my juice to pull it off and to be a mom and like the summer was rough too because Bean was at camp at my gym. So I get her ready, I drop her off, I go to work, I pick her up. There's no break. And then I get home. It's not like I have a break when I get home. I have to put dinner on the table and shower her and get her to bed and then start over again. Like there's not a lot of rest for the weary there. So the summer was just a hot mess because also all my hormones are tanking. The health insurance that I was on is obviously going to end because I ended my job. So I just got myself put on new health insurance that started today, which is the first day of the month, which is great. So we have that already set. But now all my doctor's appointments that were next week that were going to help me with my HRT and get my brain back to where it should be and get me to a place where I can do aerial because, like if you're low on testosterone, like you can't work out. It's like really hard to work out. Like there's just no juice in this tank. So all of those appointments are going to get moved forward because I have new insurance and I have to find new doctors that will take my new insurance. So this summer is going to go down. I want to say the summer has gone down as the shittiest summer of my entire life. I will say that point blank. I'm very sure about that. It does, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like I'm slightly broke. I'm burning the candle at both ends. My kid is sick, so I have all the things around having a 6-year-old. Of course, I have a partner, but he's at work all day, so. And then my body is.
How's real estate?
How is our real estate going? It's just going the way it should go. It's It's we have our house in Delaware rented out, and it's pulling in rent. It's not pulling in tons of rent. Basically, we take everything that's left over from paying ourselves back for paying the mortgage, and we have about $500 left after we pay the mortgage and all of our bills and stuff, and we put it in an account and we leave it there until we need it. So I do have enough discipline to leave it there. You know, it's not like I'm jumping into that pot of cash for any reason until we need it for one of the houses. So yeah, it's just been a shit summer, and I still feel like shit, and my money, I'm slightly broke, and here we are. But that job was a huge stressor, and so I'm thinking that I'm going to feel a little bit less stressed. You know, if I pick up something like a Uber Eats or a DoorDash, where I'm at least putting the cash in my pocket that is going out for groceries and stuff. So, yeah, I still have a couple, you know, like I have my job at the Arium, and I'm podcast producing for one podcast outside of the ones that I do for us and for myself. So there's some money coming in. It's just underemployed. So happy. It's so joyful, Noah.
So wait, what about, but I thought you were already on HRT.
I'm on estradiol and I'm on progesterone. What I'm not on is testosterone. And I've seen my levels because we just did blood work. And my progesterone and estradiol, which is estrogen, is about like medium. So the medicine's doing its job. So there are some symptoms that I am enjoying not having right now. One being hot flashes, two being my brain fog is slightly better, except obviously I think you can ski in August. So obviously not that much better. But I can at least put sentences together and teach. You know, I'm not walking to a room wondering why I'm there very often. It's only a little bit. But when it comes to like not having any juice to work out, tired all the time, like I sleep, but it doesn't feel rested, that's testosterone, or there's something going on with my thyroid, or there's something going on with my adrenals. So, and I'm already on the Zoloft. So like the depression, anxiety is better. The hot flashes and brain fog is better. And then it's the other things that are now problematic. And so I'm having a shit summer because there's like external things and then there's internal things. And then all together, it just kind of makes a soup that's not great.
No good. Not good soup.
The soup sucks.
Soup
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, the soup sucks. So,
well, I think you burned it down, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and you're going to see what happens. I think you pulled a Noah, but you didn't fully pull a Noah because you burned it down because you have a child, and that, Noah doesn't have a child,
So you're saying that I burned it down for better reason? Is that what you're saying?
Certainly more relatable and distinguishable reasons. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I would say.
Well, the primary reason is understandable to most people because it's like many moms need this flexibility around their child. Like the idea that she gets sick and I have to somehow have a structure of nannies around me to like swoop in 2 hours after she throws up all over herself at night to come to my house by 8 a.m. and watch a sick kid. Like that, you have to have.
What's Bean doing?
What do you mean right now?
No, I mean, why is she always sick? How many
Right.
How many of the other kids' boogers is she wiping all over her face?
Well, we're also in the process with her pediatrician, who is going to change now that my insurance just changed, why she's throwing up at night all the time. There's a reason for it. We just don't know the reason yet. So we just went about a week ago to Poker full of needles to take blood out and pee in a cup and all that stuff to find out what's going on with her nutrition and why she's vomiting. There's a list of reasons and you have to rule stuff out. So that's also a stressor because I'm also always struggling with her to feed her well and correctly and enough. And she's a picky eater, as many kindergartners are. So she gets sick, but the point is that for many other moms out there who might not have had to burn the whole thing down, is if they had their mom in town or their dad in town, or they have a sister or a brother in town where they can really just drop off like a snotty vomiting kid and it is not a big deal, or even a neighbor that's really, really close. But today's like life isn't built the same way. I mean, at least for us, we didn't move somewhere where we have community already. So we're building it. And I have some pretty good friends, most of my students, who would, swoop in if I really needed some help, but it's not really what the bill is calling for. It's like, I need a community of mostly family. Family's the number one thing that you would need, which is why so many people move closer to their family when they have kids, so they don't have these problems. I mean, yeah.
Are you saying you're going to move again? Is that where this is leading?
No, I don't want to. We're not leaving San Antonio. I mean, we bought the house. Besides that, we bought a house. Ace's job is stable. My job, I can work wherever I am, so I can just, I need to just fill it in with something. I don't know. This is the big question. This is the Artist Entrepreneur podcast. And so many of our conversations kind of revolve around how are we supporting our art? How are we supporting what we're doing? And I have to say this last job was really challenging because whether it took 24 hours of my week, which is what we were doing recently, or 30 hours of my week, it took over my life in a way that my creative juices didn't have a chance. Like I was just so tired and trying to make it through it that none of my other things were getting my attention anyway, which is a secondary reason why I was okay leaving the job. Because I still want to consider myself an artist entrepreneur. And if I'm going to do that, I need to spend some time and energy on it. And it wasn't getting that. So there's lots of reasons, but I can't just be completely tapped out because then I'm not going to sell my workshops and I'm not going to be a good teacher. So thoughts on this? Thoughts and feelings?
I was just saying, I'm not the person to make any judgments on leaving a job that you're not feeling, good about, or that's, taking over your existence in a negative way. That's just sort of the reality. And I think that, we've had this conversation of oh God, I wish I could have a 9 to 5 and never think about it and blah, 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 but it's just not reality. And I think that there's the easy answer is always, well, just go get a job. And, I know it sounds fucking ridiculous, but it's not always that easy for some people to just do that and have that and keep that and maintain that with all the shit that is on their mind and they do. And, maybe you could do the job. Maybe you could be there full time and, and Bean would be at, daycare and, and you'd be making whatever money you're making there and you got more clients and, there's success in that, but, maybe in order to do that, you got to be fucking miserable. Or,
yeah,
you gotta let, there is always give and take. I travel a lot. I'm a mover and a shaker, and I'm all over the place all the time. That is a reality of my world, and it is very hard to get me to settle down in a singular location. it is tough for me to do it. So, getting me to fucking get a full-time office job, it's just not, I don't think it's reality. I just don't think it is. And in order to do that, what do I have to give up? Okay, I have to give up my moving, my shaking. I got to give up the work that I'm trying to do and the work that I am doing. I have to give up, some of my sanity and probably my mental health, and that might not be worth it. That's not worth it to some people, and I have a really hard time judging that. I have a really hard time setting a value judgment on that.
Is it because I just can't tolerate a job? I was thinking about that. Can I just not tolerate it? Am I like too pussy to do this?
That's the answer. I don't think that's the answer. And I say that because I don't think it's the answer for me either, because I have tolerated a job. I have worked 5-6 days a week, 8 to 5. I have done that, and I loved it. It was one of the best things ever. I know that I loved it, but it was that specific job that made me not, want to fucking kill myself every other day. If I was
that job was a long time ago?
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. But if I was doing that if it was an office job that I was doing and I was just sitting in front of a computer, I'd probably fucking hate it. Probably wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think it's an anti-job. I don't think you don't have tolerance for a job. I think it's that you just need to have the right thing that just keeps you moving, keeps you engaged, keeps things as part of the quality of life that you want to have. And if the quality of life that you want to have is, I want to be able to spend more time with my daughter, then you got to find a job that will support that quality of life. If you want to have a job that requires you to travel, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but that's the quality of life that you want, then you find a job that way. I think everybody's different. We're so accepting of career paths if we frame them as career paths. We're so accepting of people who say, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Oh, I want to be an accountant. Oh, I want to be a doctor. We're really accepting of that sort of thing. We're not very accepting of, I have fucking trouble sitting in an office 5 days a week for 10 hours a day, 9 hours a day. I got to find something else to do that will provide that I can be a functional member of society, a supportive member of society, and all that. And I don't think we have a lot of tolerance for that. I don't think us as a society, we have a lot of tolerance for that mentality and for that world. I just don't see that very often.
Well, the thing that I'm starting to realize too is that my friends who are my age, who have been in corporate jobs for a while, they have kids. They actually worked it in where they have a little flexibility for their kid, but they've done their time, right?
Of course.
They've been in that job for so long that they have a little wiggle. I'm going in needing the wiggle. And so It kind of changes the equation.
It means you're fucked.
Kind of.
It means you're less desirable, period.
Yeah. And so where I'm just after what I just went through, the idea of doing DoorDash for a little while is a little relieving, because I know that if something happens that day, I don't have to show up for work. I can just not make money that day. Obviously, I'm going to start and I'm going to be like, Noah, you were so right. I can't do this shit.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, and some of my people at Pilates, they're like, what are you going to do? I was like, maybe I'll just DoorDash for a while. They're like, oh, please don't do that. It's so beneath you. And I'm like, is it though? because like slinging.
I don't think anything is beneath anybody. In my
Me too.
opinion, I don't really believe in that job is beneath you. I just don't buy that. What I will say is, like, in the same way that you going and getting a full-time office job or doesn't make you happy, getting a job, behind a car delivering food also isn't going to make you happy. There's so many, like, reasons and logic behind those things. It's just narrowing that down. It's just narrowing the information that you have down. And you do. I mean, it just, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have not saved a lot of money up with this job. It would be better if I had been making really good money. And then now I find myself in a spot where I have to float a little bit. So I'm kind of in a deficit financially. I'm in a deficit energy-wise because of my hormones and because of what's going on with my body, or what might be going on with my body. So it is, it's good for a podcast because there's lots of struggle to talk about. But I'm kind of in a spot. At the same time, I'm getting rid of a stressor, and that will hopefully release some stuff. I wanted to ask you about your cocktail program over at that restaurant. How's it going?
It's great. Yesterday was my last day. It was super successful.
Was it supposed to only be a week or two?
No, it was a month.
Oh, it was a whole month.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a month.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I didn't realize this.
Oh, yeah. It was a month. It went really great. Super successful. Client is really happy. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next and trying to push this a little bit further. While I was there, I did cocktails for a wedding. I'm doing cocktails for a party in Los Angeles on the 8th. So, there's a little bit of traction, which is kind of interesting, kind of cool. I had 2 potential opportunities. One of them is not happening, unfortunately, yet. I think there's some sticker shock, and there's some bad timing in terms of the corporation. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to find out more. And then the other opportunity is not happening because they are just, they're not moving forward. That's the best I can. That's the best information I can give you for that one. But yeah, I mean, it was great. I really loved it, and I am looking forward to trying to make this version of my work a reality.
You're talking about doing cocktails like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so that's good. It was a summer that I didn't expect, I would say. I think that's probably the best way to describe this one. I thought I would get a lot more time outside. I thought I would get a lot more time exercising. I thought I'd get a lot more time in the mountains. And I really didn't. I was super stressed out. From my marketing clients to work to the cocktail stuff and like doing this whole thing for the first time, really. It was a lot. It was a lot to really like do.
And you guys were going back and forth more than you thought.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I had to go back to LA a couple times. It's been a very stressful summer, and I think that I gotta find some solutions, and I feel like I'm tapping in, and I'm narrowing the field of view a little bit, and that's what I feel like I need to do right now. I need to narrow my field of view, to figure out what's going to happen next, because I think we're at an inflection point, and whatever happens next is going to be very important, because we're going to let go of some things, and we're going to start some new things, and I'm excited for that. I think, another piece of this is like, you got to learn, right? Every client, everything, every project is a learning opportunity, and I sucked the education out of this fucking summer. Even though it was stressful, even though I had a lot of anxiety, even though it wasn't always happy, I just, there were so many moments where I went, God, I gotta stay up all fucking night so that I can learn the right way to do this. So that I can figure out the right way to approach this moment, so that next time I don't have to stay up all night. Next time I know exactly what I'm doing going in, and next time I'm ready to go. And I think that has been really quite helpful for me. And there's suffering, and that's okay. I'm okay to suffer. But in the pursuit of knowledge, and yeah.
Well, I am sorry that it's been a stressful. So it's a shitty and stressful summer between the two of us.
I don't know. I'm not going to go all the way to like shitty.
I mean, shitty for me, stressful for you.
Yeah. I think it was just a stressful, little bit of an anxiety-ridden summer. But I got to do this thing that I've been wanting to do for so long. And not only did I get to do it, I fucking killed it. And that feels awesome. That, I have to say, that is an amazing feeling. I got to do a thing that I've been trying to do and pursue for a year now, and I got to do it, and I fucking knocked it out of the park. I did so good, and I got such great feedback, and my client is so happy and so stoked, and there are moments, they're fleeting, but there are moments where I occasionally realize that I am good at something. They're few and far between, and they don't last very long, because I immediately go back to hating myself. But there's a moment here that I'm going, shit, I'm good at this. What do I do with that? What's the next thing? The next thing that I do? Because it's gotta be a next thing to do.
Is that the first time you've set a cocktail program at a restaurant for that long?
No, but it's the first fully contractor-based situation.
Oh, okay. And you were in there batching the cocktails yourself, right? You didn't teach them how to make it, did you? Did you do it yourself?
No, I taught them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did the creative part. I did the teaching part. I did all of it. And it was awesome. It was fucking great.
Yeah, it makes you want to do more of it, right?
Yeah. And again, part of the learning curve, the learning pieces, like, not only does it make me want to do it again, but, it gives me hope and gives me this idea of like, well, do I want to open a restaurant? Do I want to open a bar? Do I want to have my own place? Because the more of these that I do, the more that I'm going to learn, and the more, different scenarios I'm going to be exposed to, and the more it's like the event world, right? I talk about this with Alicia all the fucking time. We work events, we work these weddings, we work these, corporate events, we do these things, and man, if I had a nickel every time I left something and I went, I'm not going to do that, but I will do that. Or I will do that, but I'm not going to do that. And I mean, I have a firm belief that I could throw the best wedding on planet Earth, because I've seen all of it now. And you just learn every single time what to do, what not to do, what's the positives, what's the negatives, why do this, why do that. And the more clients you work with, and the more, I do it with my social media stuff. And now it's with the cocktail stuff. It's like, oh, that kitchen does it this way, and that kitchen does it this way, and that, bar is set up that way. And what makes the most sense? And what's the smartest way of doing this? And one day, theoretically, in my brain, I'll go, well, I know all the tricks. I know the best way to do it. So now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it my way. And my way should work pretty fucking well, because I've seen everybody else's way, and I've taken the best of theirs. And, yeah, it's just great. I love learning. I love trying things. That's been I'd say, like, my saving grace this summer. It's just like the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to experiment, the opportunity to, just build on that and see what's going to happen.
Well, I love this positivity, and I wish I could borrow some of it. Maybe I'll be feeling different in a week.
I don't think it's positivity, in all honesty. I think it's just an acknowledgement of where I am right now and what might happen next, which, and I say might happen next. The next steps, the next moment, the next whatever. All I know is that the funnel is getting tighter. And I am focusing. I am trying to figure out what's going to make it to the other end of the funnel. What's going to make it through the funnel? Because it's not it can't be everything that I do, but it's going to be something. And whatever those things are going to take my focus. I want to focus on, and I want to use it to better my life, to have the quality of life that I want to have that makes the most sense for how I operate. And that is, not a fucking office job.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find Amanda Ritchie at Grounded in Flight on Instagram, and add Noah Doc on Instagram, as well as Red Flags app. And me, Kerry Wee, you can find at wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We have so much more coming at you, including guests that are in this art world, that are blazing their way through new businesses, and just more banter from us. Thank you for listening. This is The Artist Entrepreneur.